When it comes to wireless guitar systems, how good is the Xvive P58? And can this all-in-one tuner and wireless pedal earn a permanent spot on my pedal board? Let's find out. If you're new here, I'm Savage Fridays. I vlog about bass pedals, music making, and so many more fun creative things. If that's interesting to you, please subscribe. It lets me know to keep going. All right, let's get into it. The P58 wireless guitar system by Xvive. I've been interested in updating this Shure PGX4. It's old, you guys. I got this a long time ago. It still works, but looks a little bit like a spaceship or a Wi-Fi router. So when Xvive reached out asking me to review the product, I jumped on it. Now, Xvive sent me the product to review, but did not give me any talking points. This is not a sponsored video, so honest opinions only. Let's get into this. Oh, P58 guitar wireless system, plug and play. 5.8 gigahertz wireless. That is small and nice. Like that. Here we have the pedal, also known as the receiver, the transmitter, the USB-C cable, and the 12-volt power supply. First reactions are the form factor on this is so nice. It's the size of a guitar pedal, if not smaller. And I love its minimal design. Single button, we have our input, we have a single output, power, and USB. That is the electronic enthusiast dream. It's taking the screen cover off. Yes! Yes! Now compare, contrast form factor and materials to the Shure PGX system and its transmitter. That is a lot of material, and this material is plastic, which is fine, but not so durable. Overall here, the form factor on this pedal, the Xvive, is considerably smaller than the form factor on a Shure wireless system, and I appreciate that because real estate is golden. And let's not forget the functionality in this pedal, which we will get into, is a wireless receiver and tuner. So in order to achieve this on my current rig, I need this plus this. This is my Boss TU2 chromatic tuner. Let's talk about the features of this wireless system. First, when it comes to a wireless system, tone is super important. This transmits in 48K 24-bit audio. That is studio grade pro quality. I do not hear it coloring my sound, and it has extremely low latency at under 5 milliseconds. Also important, you do not want too much latency and your bass signal being off from the band. This pedal is running on a 5.8 gigahertz frequency. Unlike Wi-Fi and Bluetooth devices, which are very crowded on a 2.4 frequency. This is a true diversity receiver. There are 2 antennas inside the unit, constantly scanning for the best, most available frequency to connect to. So you get way fewer dropouts. Compare contrast to my older device, which has 2 antennas on the outside, and how many times I've had to manually scan and realign on a different channel if we ran into interference. But I like the antennas being on the inside of the device. Antennas on the inside make it look less like an alien communication device that is going to take me and beam my thoughts to outer space. The receiver doubles as a chromatic tuner. No more would I need the Boss tuner on the pedal board, which is hard to imagine. Also, this pedal has the true bypass or buffer selection that give you options depending on how you like your signal tone. When it comes to compatibility, the P58 works really well on both active and passive pickups. So you can play your Fender Strat guitar on there and switch to something with active electronics like your Music Man bass or other guitars. This is very easy to use. When you power this pedal up, it automatically scans and selects the best available band to transmit through. Gone are the days we have to scroll through different frequency bands and sync the devices and pray for the best that it doesn't bump during the show. I love the automated aspect of that in this pedal. To power this pedal, the receiver takes a 12-volt power supply, which it comes with, but you can also use most pedal board power supplies on this as well. And this transmitter, the A58, gives up to 5 hours of playtime and can recharge via USB right on the back of the pedal itself. That's really cool. and way better compared to older systems which tend to run on batteries. Finally, the range on this device is pretty solid. You can get up to 100 feet line of sight range from the receiver. It's pretty great and will cover most live stage situations. Unless you're in Coldplay and you want to run way out to the end of that catwalk, Xvive, you might need a Coldplay edition where you give us 500 feet of coverage, but love 100 feet. That's good for most of my situations. We're gonna test the range of this pedal because this is a product review and I like to be thorough, but first, let's hook it up in the studio and do a quick demo so you can hear how it sounds. Our demo setup today is the Fender American Precision Bass running through the Xvive pedal or direct in to the Neve Shelford channel. I have some compression on the bass and I'm going into the UA console where I'm running the Ampeg SVT amp just to give it a little low end. All right, let's do some tuning. There's our tuner. Ooh, I like that. Look how graphical and bright. Oh, yes, it's like green. Okay, test number 2. We're putting the Xvive P58 in the literal actual window. Here we go, range test. I'm leaving the studio. Going outside. Okay. All right, here comes the test. Ready? It's working? Oh my God. Wow. Range test reaction, 100 feet line of sight. That better be a very clear line of sight. But line of sight works pretty well. My studio window to the street level with some cement walls and other interferences definitely in the mix. That said, if you guys can get this up to 150 feet or 200 feet, someone like me might feel better. But let's be honest, most bass players are being responsible and respectful and standing there next to their drummer and their amp, holding down the low end. And this distance and range works perfectly well for that. Let's talk about my final takeaways on this pedal. Starting with the transmitter. Now this A58 transmitter is awesome. It's pretty ergonomically shaped. I am used to receivers that look like this. Oh my God! And having more of a minimal design so that people don't see that it's a wireless and think, hey, what's that little device hanging off the guitar? The positive of this shape and it being located at the input jack is I don't have to clip anything to my belt or the back of my guitar strap, and it is simpler, so there's that. And if I'm being honest, on the transmitter itself, having text and the logo, I don't love that either. It could be distracting. Maybe it could be on the side or the back, but I get it. Companies have to market themselves. Another thing I like about my older Shure system is that you can interchange other Shure components into the system. This is a Shure cardioid mic that I needed for a very special gig when I quit Spotify, hired a bunch of backup dancers, and sang bye, bye, bye. Rare use case, not everyone needs a headset mic, and if a bass player showed up with this at a regular rock gig, we'd be thrown out of the band. We'd be put into bass player jail. So something for Xvive to consider for future features. Another final takeaway is the USB charging aspect of this. I love that. It's compatible with my life of devices with iPhones and computers. It's USB-C, and I'll likely have the cables on me, even if I couldn't find this small one that came with it. However, I might be nervous all the time during the gig that this is going to cut out, or worry about the battery's life over time, and then what happens when the battery on this, in years to come, stops holding a charge?
Stop.
Okay, let's break down the price and the value you're getting on the P58 wireless guitar system. This system costs $249.99 on all the music retailers. Now compare contrast to a Shure PGX system. When I bought this new, it was $329 US. I also bought the warranty at Guitar Center because I was nervous that it would break or I would spill a drink on it or stomp on it. All of those things did happen. So with the warranty, it brought the cost of this device up close to $400. Now, add in the Boss Chromatic Tuner on top of that for $109.99, and you're over $500 for this setup on your pedal board. What? And the verdict is, I'm adding this pedal to my pedal board hands down. In fact, I might add it to the pedal board in the studio because I am constantly tripping over this nest of wires across the floor, and I could use a little bit of untethering. There you have the overview, the feature review, the demo, the range test, and my takeaways on the Xvive P58 wireless guitar system. Maybe it's time for you to cut the cord and see how this system can work for you. Thanks Xvive for sending me this to test, and thank you all. See you on the next one. I could tell a planet one thing. I would say you should play the bass guitar. I'm still rolling. If that's a good time to you, please subscribe. It lets me know to keep doing these videos because it sounds like something written on a bathroom wall. For a good time, subscribe to Savage Fridays. Ew, somebody wrote that on the bathroom stall in middle school. Oh my God, this is the dark glass.